Hello, today we're going to be looking at Psalm 143. And Psalm 143 has a couple of elements in it. One of the elements that it has is the element of lament. Lament is one of the most common features in the Psalms. It is where the author of the psalm is lamenting their condition and their state. But we're also going to find in this pleas to God, crying out to God, requests and petitions of God, and then also repentance, or sometimes it's called penitence towards God, because in this lament, the author is going to be keenly aware of their sin. So Psalm 143, it is a psalm of David, and so that's what the superscription says, a psalm of David. Hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear, so that hear and give ear are saying the same thing. Hear my prayer, O Lord. Give ear to my pleas for mercy. So that's how it's starting off, is God, listen to what I'm crying out to you about. In your faithfulness, answer me. In your righteousness. And so the psalmist expects to hear from God because God is faithful and because God is righteous. He's crying out to God based upon his character. God, this is what your character is like. Please listen to me. Enter not into judgment with your servant, for no one living is righteous before you. So notice the contrast here. God, you are righteous. No one is righteous, right, in your sight or in front of you as they stand before. No one could stand before you as righteous is kind of the idea here. No one living is righteous before you. So here in this lament, and in the petitions and in the repentance that are about to happen, he just starts off with the obvious. God, I need you to listen to me. God, you are faithful. You are righteous. I am not, nor is anyone else. Then he's going to start a new section here. In verse 3, for the enemy has pursued my soul. He has crushed my life to the ground. He has made me sit in darkness like those long dead. So here's a lament part. Those who are against me, the enemy has pursued me, has crushed me to the ground. He's made me sit in darkness like those long dead. He's talking about like his state here. Therefore, because of that, my spirit faints within me. My heart within me is appalled. So this is how I feel. I feel down. I feel like I'm in the darkness. My spirit faints within me. I feel weak. The psalmist is saying, I'm crying out to you, God. This is how I feel. Please answer me. And then he's going to say in verse 5, he's going to recall times past. I remember the days of old. I meditate on all that you have done. I remember what things have been like before. I ponder the work of your hands. So here the psalmist is saying, like, I know you're faithful and righteous, right? Those ideas are going to connect back here in verse 5, because I've seen what you've done. I meditate on it. This idea of meditation is filling oneself with thoughts of God. I ponder, ponder the works of your hands, those things that you've done. I stretch out my hands, so I think about your hands and what they've done. I stretch out my hands to you. This is a position of worship. I stretch out my hands to you. My soul thirsts for you like a parched land. Selah. So my soul thirsts for you, God, like a dry land wants water, is what he's saying. So I remember how things have been, and he's wanting those things to happen again. So he's going to then make a request in this new section. Answer me quickly. So he said, give ear, hear, answer me, O Lord. My spirit fails. So he's already mentioned that. My spirit faints. My spirit fails. Hide not your face from me. Don't be hidden from me, lest I be like those who go down to the pit. He's already talked about how he feels like he's one who has already gone down to the pit, like those who are long dead. Don't let me feel this way anymore, God. Let me hear in the morning of your steadfast love, for in you I trust. So one of the very distinct things about a lament in the Bible, a lament that we might have in our day, might just sit in sadness. But a lament in the Bible understands our condition, who we are sinful, but it also understands who God is, that God is faithful, that God is righteous, that God has steadfast love. And it almost always says, and God, I trust in you despite how I feel. I might feel this way, but I trust you because you are good, and I don't trust my emotions in the moment. Make me know the way I should go, for to you I lift up my soul. So I feel lost. Make me know. Show me the direction that I should go, because I feel lost, God. Most laments today that people have in popular song, or even that we might hear people give, they're not going to say, God, help me know the way that I can go. Instead, they're just going to feel sorry for themselves. Look to God when you find yourself in a dark night of the soul, when you find yourself sad, when you find yourself feeling oppressed or crushed. Say and cry out to God, God, I want you to respond. I want you to show me who you are. I know who you are. Your word says you're these things. So look at it. So make me know, deliver me, teach me. He's going to just these series of requests. Deliver me from my enemies. So he's already talked about the enemies that were all around earlier in the text, from the enemy, right? So the enemies that were around. Oh Lord, I have fled to you for refuge. We go to God when something is wrong. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. So again, notice it's not, God, help me do the things that I want to do. Help me to do your will, God. Help me to do the things that are characterized by you, your will, O God. Let your good spirit lead me on level ground. So he feels all shaken up. He feels like things are turbulent. Let me walk on straight paths, on clear paths. For your name's sake, O Lord, preserve my life. So don't do this for me. Do this for you, God. Preserve my life. In your righteousness, so again, he's appealing to the character and nature of God, bring my soul out of trouble. And in your steadfast love, that covenantal love that God has for his people, you will cut off my enemies. So that enemies again, so he's mentioned it here and here and here. Because of your steadfast love, you will do this. And you will destroy all the adversaries of my soul. For I am your servant. David says, I am your servant. I am the one who worships you, right? Show yourself for your name's sake. Show up here and show what you will do for your servants. And so when we are struggling, when we do want to lament, it is good to bear our hearts out before God. And when we do that, it is good to remember who God is. And who is God? He's faithful, right? So we'll just do yellow. He's faithful. He's righteous. We are not righteous. No one is righteous before God. And then he's going to talk about the steadfast love that God has. And then he's going to talk again about God's righteousness, God's steadfast love. This is who God is. God will respond. He might not respond exactly when you want. He might not respond exactly how you want. But when we are struggling, we cry out to the living God. We cry out to him, knowing that because of who he is, he will answer us.